Well, I haven't made too many videos in a while, so I figured I would weigh in on this whole twerk thing where the father beats his daughters for twerking. He catches them twerking. Well, apparently I must have been raised under abuse because I ain't really seen anything that abnormal about that video. The only time I would object to beating a kid like that is if they had on shorts instead of pants. Now I say this even though I have never given my children a beating like that, and I prefer that you talk to a child. I feel like corporal punishment should be a last resort. But that being said, if I saw somebody beating their kids like that, it probably wouldn't have registered because I was beat like that myself when I was a child, even though I didn't choose to beat my own children like that. So I guess you could say that because I chose to, I decided to just stop spanking and talk to them, and that's worked out. That has worked out better. That there must be something wrong with that. I must, on some level, know that what he did was wrong. But I think if I just just say I was walking down a hallway, looked into a room, saw a parent spanking their child, I might have stopped for a second because I'm just nosy like that. But I probably would have kept going and been like, well, they must have really done something. Wow, what did those children do? So, one thing I want to say and what I've said in a couple of comments is I think this father's being singled out just because it's a man. Because I've seen women beat their kids like that and nobody said nothing. I got spankings like that from my mother. I was smaller than those two girls in that twerk thing. Nobody said nothing. Granted, that was a different time. Ain't nobody say nothing. I bet if a mother was beating her sons like that, nobody would say nothing. Think it's just because it's a black guy, that's why he's being singled out. A white man beating his kids like that, if he was beating his white daughter, he might get in trouble. Asian people beating their children like that, I don't know. I don't know if we would. I think you just have. It has to be a father beating a daughter, and then people get mad. But if it was father beating a son, not if the son was heterosexual. Nope. Nobody protects straight little boys. Not at all. Straight little boys are just allowed to be punching bags. Straight men are not allowed to assert themselves or be disciplinarians. That's our society. But I will say this as one critique of Dude. I think that I wonder if he was raised by a single mother. Because the beating style that he gave in that video was more how I used to see moms beat children. Because usually dad would do a few hard swats, woof, woof, and it hurt so bad if it was from a male that she ain't want that again. So, yeah, I grew up without a dad. Had a grandfather, but he passed away when I was really young. I only remember maybe one or two beatings from him, and they were just brief. But there was more force, so he didn't really have to do as much. Usually the mothers or aunts or something like that, theirs didn't hurt as much, but it was a cumulative effect. It was more strikes. And they would be screaming and hollering and cussing and So that's why I'm thinking he got his discipline training from a female, and he doesn't realize that he has male strength, so he don't need to do it that hard. I also think those girls, though, they could have been putting on extra for the camera. But regardless, if we live in a society that says that type of thing is wrong, then it's got to be wrong, I guess. But I don't know, though, because it's a no-win. I say it's a no-win because when kids act up, we say, where are the parents? Where are the parents? Then the parents discipline the kids. It's child abuse. It's child abuse. So what do you want? What do you want, internet? What do you want, society? Do you want the kids disciplined? Or, if you think that you can always just talk to a child, you can't. You can't. I've tried that. This is what I'll say. People have this romantic idea that you never even have to raise your voice to a child. Well, I can tell you, I don't resort to hitting all the time. I do sometimes have to show some sort of anger to be taken seriously. Now I got two of them. With my older one, well, he's older and I can reason with him. With the younger one, I still got to show some anger sometimes. I mean, they're both please, the older one is grown, so spanking, what? Are you crazy? Come on. The younger one is really too old for spanking. But, my mother swung at me. Well, she actually never stopped swinging at me. God rest her soul. She even swung at me one time when I was 19. But by then I had some training, so I just ducked. Oh, man. I could dodge, so. Anyway. I'm rambling, but I do think that we got a double standard going. That if anyone spanks a female child, I just wonder if we reverse the genders, would anybody care? If mom was beating sons for twerking, would anybody care? And I argue that no one would.